Now you saying Ramsey? Okay, he's way more affordable too. And
28. You know what? It's similar. They're like mid-20s.
I'm saying no.
Yeah, I checked.
AD's contract is still more though.
AD's 26 this year, 32 next year. But I think Ramsey's is pretty much like mid-20s throughout. I think he's got like 3 more years left. I could double check.
Yeah.
I was looking at it
But
yesterday.
I didn't think he got to the 30s. That's what I was saying though. Like
he's not in the
80,
30s.
80 has
He's
a
not in the
32.
30s.
You said right?
Yeah, 32
Yeah,
next
like
year.
the 32. That's like quarterback, bro. Like that's egregious to me. But I'm like, man, for a high end like man-to-man corner like Jalen Ramsey, that's about standard, man.
He's 28, whereas AD's
still-
32.
So we getting him younger. We get him on the right side of 30.
Okay, so 2023 for Ramsey, 25.2. 2024, 26.7. 2025, 22.7.
To me, Ramsey I like a lot better. I think of it kind of like the Joe Hayden scenario, but the other thing I think of is this. He's still a top-notch and elite player. I don't know if I like... I don't know what year it's going to happen for him.
The drop-off.
Yes, because I feel like I'm starting to see little like...
This was not a good year for him.
Right. And I think of some moments last year where it was like...
He wasn't set up for success either this year.
True. But I think it's like certain things like I'm starting to see little, and that's my only... Like, I think he would still come here and be hands down the best corner that we've had in a while. Like, he's like that all-world, like, would bring a big play vibe to that position for us. Very similar, like I said, when Joe Hayden came here, but I think even to another level because of how just like great of a player he is. But when we talking about that type of money, you gotta be right. I just.
So here's the question. I was thinking about this yesterday.
I'm scared of the drop off.
Remember when Revis went to Tampa Bay?
Oh yeah,
and had that drop off.
But then he went to
New England, and it was around the same age as Ramsey. He
but
was like
different
28,
system
29.
too, though. In this like similar in the sense of like they were gonna man-to-man him, but it was more buttoned up. I feel like in Tampa they treated it like New York, where it was like literally we don't play coverage over there. It's just whatever Revis is doing, he has that guy. I feel like in New England it's similar, but the way Belichick set stuff up, like he's gonna make you play left-handed, like we talked about. So even if it's Revis matched up on an elite guy, schematically they were still gonna do certain things to help him out. He wasn't always getting that in Tampa. If we do that with Ramsey, oh man, this is a match made in heaven. I just don't know if you paying him that type of money, are you going to actually take that approach? Are you going to come up here and be like, nah, man, we paying him that, let him live out there, he good? Because that's where I feel like he could let us down.
And that's the question.
Yeah.
Do you think Ramsey is in still that Revis category at this stage of his career, or even like a Deion Sanders? Because whenever he went to the Cowboys, he was like 28, 29, still was playing at an elite level. But do you think Ramsey's there still? Or was he ever there, really?
Put it like this.
He's in that class. I don't know if he was ever those guys.
Yeah, he's in that class. I don't think he was ever those guys, but I think he's an elite. I think with Ramsey, you know how it goes too. Elite athlete, cabal, but the talking really helped him out as well. It made him more of like a lightning rod.
I feel like he's gotten cooked way more times.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Even in his really good years than I've ever seen from Revis. Now, obviously, I didn't see Sanders, but the only time you saw Revis
like that, bro,
get cooked was that Moss time when Moss was the Patriots.
But they just showed that one play, not the rest of the game. Like, he still, you know what I mean? Like, he was, if I'm correct, he was coming with the hamstring on that game. But it's like, Ramsey definitely got some bad moments that you don't see with those other guys. I don't know. I feel like, because like the thing is this though, if we're running the defense that we run, which is what, Tampa 2, 2-man, cover 3, and cover 1, I think he could play those just fine. I think I love him when we're doing our cover 2 stuff, when he got safety help over top, because he is ultra aggressive, super athletic, elite ball skills, and he can just be aggressive as heck without having to worry about if he is wrong. But he has the elite recovery skills as well. And that's what makes him like such a top-notch player. But the problem is when he's going against elite guys, because he's used to traveling and following guys. We don't do that in our defense. I think that could also help him. But if we paying that dude what it's going to cost to pay him, you pay that money for dudes that travel. You don't pay that for you to just sit on that side. No. When I see Diggs, when I see Jamar Chase, when I see Amari Cooper, when I see any of these other dudes come around here, you follow that. Like, so that's, once again, my dilemma with Ramsey, specifically with our defense, because of that part right there, man. Because
here's my other thing. How much do you have faith in the Steelers organization to draft a corner in this draft, and they can be a really good corner?
Unless
so you have zero?
Unless it's
zero
Peasy.
Faith?
All right, 5%. If it's Peasy,
listen,
little Joey Porter,
we may have the corner we're looking for right in front of us in this draft, and it'd be a way better scenario than Ramsey because we'd have him on a rookie contract for 4 years. Like if we could get one of these dudes, whether it's Porter or Gonzalez,
what are the odds of it then?
And they turn into a Surtain or a Horn.
So what are the odds of it? How many corners have we hit on?
Do you think we're cursed, or it's just been an unlucky stretch?
When I ask you about
Cam Sutton's the last guy we hit on.
So let's talk about it. Which position do you feel more confident in the Steelers drafting, wide receivers or DBs?
Clearly wide receiver.
And why is that?
It just works.
And it works because you've seen it happen multiple times now, right?
Yeah, even without Ben, we just drafted Pickens.
And even when we might have an occasional like outlier pick where it's like, oh, this didn't work out, it's still never a quote unquote like our worst wide receiver pick right now. I'm trying to think in the past 5 years. Who would you say, or past 10 years?
Sammy Coates.
And even with that, like, I'm thinking some like Coates. Okay,
we're talking a guy that was drafted with some expectations,
right? With expectations that never lived.
Probably Sammy Coates.
Like Sammy. Okay, who would be the equivalent of Sammy in the cornerback room that we drafted?
I don't even know.
That's what I'm trying. Yeah,
Cortez. Actually, you know what, dude? Keenan Allen was pretty good.
He was.
Cortez Allen wasn't bad for us.
Okay.
And Cam Sutton, we just haven't drafted elite corners.
But think about the guys you just named.
Those were like the third-round picks.
So the guys you named, how do they compare to
fourth-round picks?
Obviously, I'm not going to throw Antonio Brown in there because we know none of them compare to that. But Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders. Do you feel those picks were better than those picks?
Keenan Lewis was really good with us his last year or two. I would put him on that stratosphere. Mike Wallace was weird because he started off fast.
Okay.
And then he tailed off his fourth year. Whereas it was the opposite with Keenan Lewis. Like his best year was probably his last year with us. I would take him over Emmanuel Sanders for sure. Mike Wallace, probably like a tie. Probably a little bit more to Mike Wallace because he had more explosive years early on.
Okay. Because I'm trying to think, man. Cam Sutton is definitely the last one that we've re-signed. Cortez got what, 5?
Yeah, I don't even remember what happened with him.
We paid him and then he got hurt.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we paid him
and
then
we were
he
done with him.
Well, the year we paid him was the year he fell off.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we paid him night before opening game versus Cleveland. And then by like mid-season, it was just like, yeah, he was struggling, like bad.
Maybe we haven't given our Golson was a terrible. That was a sack. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Shout out to, I see the homies throwing up my dog Will Ducey, Will Gay, big play Will Gay.
What I was gonna say is maybe we haven't given ourselves enough of a chance to draft a great or elite cornerback because we don't use early resources.
Yeah.
Because the two that I can think of off the top of my head right now recently is Artie Burns and Golson. Artie was
the first round. Golson was what, 4th, right?
Second. No, he was second.
Oh no, you're right. He was second. He got hurt. Yeah.
Could that be on the Steelers?
Yeah.
If you're getting hurt like that.
Never got a chance though, bro. Yeah. He got hurt in OTAs, and it was just like he never could get back healthy from that foot. Like it was craziness. Ooh, that is interesting though. Yeah, I don't have a lot of confidence in them drafting corners, bro. I don't.
Because we've had to go outside over these last 5 or 6 years to bring in good guys, Joe Hayden, Steven Nelson.
Whereas with receivers, I don't feel like we've had
Levi Wallace.
Yeah, even Akello.
Yeah, it didn't work out this year, but worked out last year.
Right.
Cam Sutton's really been the only one. Mike Hilton, does that count?
Yeah, he was. We ain't draft him. I mean, when we
that's like Jalen Warren, though. I would consider that like a draft pick.
Jalen Warren, we signed as an undrafted guy. Mike Hilton was in New England.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't even know that. I thought he was undrafted.
He wasn't with us, nah. He was in New England, then we brought him over.
Okay. Yeah, that's my thing. If you just think we're cursed and it's impossible for us to get an elite corner in the draft, then maybe it's worth getting Ramsey. But if you feel like it's just been a fluke or coincidence that we haven't been able to pull it off and we just haven't put enough good resources into it,
so
and we can get a Porter or Gonzalez and they could be that next guy, then no reason to bring in Ramsey.
So I haven't like, because I told you it's still
there's like another corner or two. Those are the two that everyone's talking about. Though.
It's still football going on right now, so I haven't had a chance to fully turn the page to the draft and prospects just yet. Still got some guys I'm scouting. Okay, they play in Buffalo. Tremaine Evans, remember guys? It's all right. We looking at linebacker. All right, so when I'm doing another watching the game this weekend, just know that's what we looking for. All right, but with that being the case. Do you feel, or how confident do you feel that a Joey Porter Jr. or this Gonzalez kid?
I have no clue.
Because like I said, I haven't watched any of them just yet.
I just know they're first round prospects.
The only reason I care about Joey is because, like I said, like the personal connection. You know what I mean? Him being around the facility, his pops coaching me, and then obviously, him going on to Penn State. But I haven't watched to do a breakdown on that level. Like I know he's nice, only got long arms, rangy, fast, gonna hit, tough as nails, stuff like that. But I haven't like deep dove into like all the little stuff just yet.
No clue.
Okay, but that was my thing because I'm like, if we don't even know that, or we don't even feel that confident that they are capable of that, then maybe the conversation does shift more to, yeah, you get a Jalen Ramsey because these guys aren't capable of that. Kind of like when we talked about the quarterback class last year, right? And we're just saying, hey, if you are a team that needs a quarterback, this might not be the year to take one because it's not a lot of the guys that we felt, we're going to be on that level. And it did kind of reflect that when you look at Kenny versus the rest of the class and how everybody performed this year. So with that, it's like, it makes me think of the DBs kind of similar. Like, is this another vein like that? I don't know.
I don't think they're being regarded like a Sauce Gardner or a Stingley.
Yeah,
or even like Ramsey when he came out, he was a top 5 pick.
Right.
But there are, 3, 4, 5 guys that are being touted in like the teens or maybe even in the 20s of the first round.
Okay.
It's not like, there's just one guy. Okay, maybe he'll go in the first round at some point, and then all the other prospects, they're probably second or third round guys. Okay. I think there's about 4 or 5 cornerback prospects first round.
Okay. Yeah, like I'm gonna tap in and start watching it. Like I said, in a couple weeks when these playoffs is all the way done.
I'm not even seeing it. So Surtain's another example, like, or Horn. Those guys were top 10 guys.
Bro, they were talked about. Like,
I don't
crazy.
think these guys are being talked about being in the top 10.
J.C. Horn was injured, and people were still just like, yo, like he's like that. You know what I mean? Like, at certain players, you could just look at, and it's like, yo, it was just they flash all the time, and that's why they would be talked about. But listen, I just haven't paid attention to it to that level just yet. I'll see. You know what I'm saying, like, if it changes, but that's why I just wanted to ask you off the top of your head if you had knew or not.
My feeling with the whole AD Ramsey stuff or making any big moves, I'm good with passing. I'm good with keeping the future, not leveraging it for these big contract guys, bringing the base of what we have back. Mm-hmm. Because I still feel like that's really good. And then if you could add in those first 3 picks, a corner, maybe an O-lineman, maybe Jordan Addison, like any of those dudes, like I think we're going to have an elite crew, both defensively and offensively.
To me, I look at it like this. If I really believe that Kenny can be the guy, I'm going to get one of these high-end dudes that's proven, and I'm gonna make a run with it. Yeah, because we know that's the model. If you're going to make a run with a rookie quarterback, you got to do it while he's still on that salary. If I wait till year 3, now it's getting even more dicier, especially when they start talking about the new rules of when you can extend contracts and stuff like that. So, yeah, if I really think that he's capable, I feel like they have enough talent on offense. I don't necessarily need to go and get a wide receiver in the first round. I got a George Pickens. I got a Deontay. I'm going to have a Calvin Austin coming back. That's essentially my new draft pick from this year because I didn't get a chance to see him last year. I got a Pat Fryer move. Got my 2 running backs, and I got my offensive line together. They played every snap together, right? Every game started together, right? So I feel good over there, and they grew up. That's the other part. Defensively, okay, we're going to have to revamp something, but we're revamping it in a sense of I'm either bringing in an elite corner which when I'm pairing...
So then you're not bringing back Sutton, for sure.
But the thing is this. If I'm bringing in Jalen Ramsey, and he's no longer a 9.5 player. Say he's an 8.5. But I'm pairing that 8.5 with a TJ Watt. That is the force multiplier. We talked about how when you have
and elite...
Yeah, but we say when you have... Oh, yeah, definitely got a Minka. But we talked about when you have an elite pass rush, how it can help out your back end. Because now those guys don't have to cover as long. Now those guys aren't left on the island as long. But now you're going to give me a corner that is still, in today's NFL, he's still elite-ish. You know what I mean? Like, he's in that conversation still. Like, I wouldn't say he's the best corner, but I think he's in the conversation still.
It's these young bucks, probably.
Yeah, these young dudes, they cooking a little bit right now. But if I'm pairing a Jalen Ramsey with a TJ Watt with a Minka type conversation, I think that benefits him extremely well. That was why, what made it kind of exciting for him to go to LA when they had an AD and then who was the other guy they had outside?
Well, they brought in Von Miller and then they got Leonard Floyd.
So it was like, when you're rushing like that, it just makes it a lot easier on your back end. It makes it a lot easier in terms of the guys that you're playing with. You don't always have to have elite level talent back there. But that's the part for me where I'm like, if I really think that we could do it, that would be I would lean more towards going Ramsey because I could keep more pieces intact than going for AD because I think I got to move more pieces along with more draft picks.
Oh, yeah, that's the question.
Like Jalen, I don't have.
What's the draft haul for either one?
That's what I'm saying. Like I think it's multiple picks for AD plus we got the contract. I think with Jalen, I think a pick, but you got to take on a lot of that money
because this year was a bad look for him.
Yeah. Because his stock is definitely down just because of how it played out and with the contract. And because Jalen Ramsey, he's a personality. Like in the sense of like, I don't even know if he's done another interview since that GQ interview. This quarterback suck, he's good, but that's going to forever be with him. Anytime you're playing him, that's what people think of. That's, it's the Jalen Ramsey effect. So I do think all of that does help in terms of lowering that number. And that the Rams got to move on pieces. Like, the Rams ain't in no position where they could really be on some, I'm playing hardball. All right. What happens when you get stuck with the bag in your hand? You know what I mean? Like, so we also would have that working in our favor. So I just think it would be a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get a Jalen Ramsey than would for AD in terms of keeping our pieces together, not killing our future, and making a legitimate run at this thing. And you would answer a position that we desperately need, man.
It could be interesting. I think we can compete either way.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt. Either way, we're good.
Yeah, because with what I saw...
This is more aggressive. This is a super aggressive move.
You got your sure thing, whereas what I'm saying is... Let's take a chance on one of these first-round guys.
Right.
I'm gonna believe the last however many years with the cornerback stuff, as weird as it says, is just fluky and whatever. Some breaks didn't go our way.
We different. Like you like the optimism of young players, rookie players, like that excitement what you did in college. For me, I don't want to deal with that. I want proven. I want guaranteed. Like, don't tell me you could be a man. I want the guy that's already proven he could be a man because there's a lot of guys that come up and they got all the excitement, all of the hype. Man, this guy can't miss. He's surefire. And they get here and it's like, bro, what happened? So that's why I'm like, man, if I'm going to put like my money on that thing, man, give me that thing that's already shown me that, it's here. It might be tailing off a little bit. I'd much rather deal with the management of that.
You never know with the whole change of scenery thing.
Yeah, that too, man.
With the Darrell Revis, you start getting rejuvenated.
Yeah, you just feel more excited, man, and feel that energy back. And winning is contagious, right? This last year in LA, you're coming off of a Super Bowl, and y'all aren't winning like that. That's a lot, man. The Super Bowl hangover, I'm sure it's extremely real, man.
Right, for Ramsey, if you're going back to LA this year, even like an AD, do you guys have Super Bowl aspirations?
Like, what is the motivation right now? We're going back to back? No, y'all ain't really believe in that right now, are you?
You're going to get Stafford and Cup back. That's something at least you can hang your hat on. They're always hurt, or at least Stafford, he's always hurt. AD's getting up there in age. Like, that's all you're really going to have on defense. AD, Ramsey, and Cup and Stafford.
You already said AD 32, right?
Like, who else they got?
Yeah. To say I'm going to come back and commit to it, like, yeah.
But if you join the Steelers, we're young.
And you got a chance to be we
got that window you're talking about, championship aspirations.
You're still a superstar, but you don't have to be the star because that's your other issue. if Jalen is in LA and you don't have an AD like how they didn't have down the stretch, you got to be the guy. You don't got to be the guy here. We still got TJ. We still got Minka. So you can still be elite, but it's like you're a part of a big three. You're Chris Bosh. Chris Bosh in Toronto was dope, but he won't go win no championship in Toronto. Chris Bosh in Miami, you're like, bro, that's a Hall of Famer now. Like, he fits this role perfectly. We got another elite player, but now he don't have to be Batman or Robin. He's Alfred. It's a great scenario for us, man.
See if something happens.